What's going on, everyone? Today we are back at a very familiar place. We are back at Thunder Valley. Let's get into it. No long intro. Cash game streets. Let's run this thing up. I'll see you guys at the end. Wish us luck.
So currently, I've been at the casino for about 2 hours. Now, I was playing in the only 2-5 game in the room, and it just was not amazing. Everybody was regs, there was a lot of small pots, no gambling, just no action. This game, on the other hand, was a 1-3 game, but it was very live. A lot of gambling, a lot of partying, a lot of bomb pots, a lot of big pots. So now I move on over because a seat becomes available, which is going to lead us to this very first hand of this vlog. I opened the $15 with ace jack of clubs. Plus two's going to make the call. And then the button's going to 3-bet to $45. Action goes back to me, and this is not an amazing spot. I have no reads. This is my very first hand at this table. I don't know how this game is playing and if these guys are tight or not. But I don't think I can fold here for that small 3-bet. I want to see a flop, especially with a hand as good as ace jack. That is until the initial caller puts in the raise to 100. Then the button just instantly jams. That is never a great sign for ace jack now. And now I think we just have to fold. That's pretty rough of a spot, but not much I can do, I think, here. After a bit of pondering, I'm going to decide to make the fold. At best, I probably only have 3 outs, and that's just not amazing. These players are going to head to a run out as the button flashes pocket kings. Board's going to come pretty great for pocket kings. He flips him up, and indeed, the other player is going to nod and say he's good. And he's in a bit of disgust, as you can see, and he eventually will fold, so never got to see what he had in that hand. Moving on to hand number 2. In this one, there was an original limp under the gun. Action folded to me in the small blind. I look down at King 8 offsuit. I decide to raise it to $16. Only the big blind's gonna make the call. The flop's gonna come 10-5 deuce rainbow. We flop absolutely nothing, which is to be expected because, well, we have King 8 offsuit. We did not expect to win this pot straight up, and that's not what we're gonna do. As I'm thinking what to do, I notice he checks out of turn. That gives me the green light to go ahead and fire here. I see bet 20, and he's pretty quickly gonna make the fold. Quick tip, just watch the players, guys. They're gonna give away their entire hands. Sometimes you can pretty much play blind. As we move on to the next one, in this one, plus one's gonna open to $10. Action folds to me in the big blind as I look down at his and hers off. I make the call, obviously. We're going to see a flop that's going to come excellent for us. Top pair comes King 9-7, 2 spades. I check as I would pretty much check everything, and he quickly checks back. That's going to bring in the turn, which is going to be the 3 of hearts, pretty much a blank. Now it's time for us to start getting some value. I bet 15, and he pretty quickly makes the call. Now we see the river, which is the 6 of clubs. Not the best card, definitely brings in a few straights, which are possible. This player does like to play draws, but I do think King Queen is a little too strong. We can still get some value. So I bet 30 here, and he pretty quickly makes the call. And as you're going to see, he's pretty quickly going to muck, so we're going to take this one down. Moving along to the next one. In this one, action's quickly going to fold over to me. I'm on the cutoff, and I look down at ace 9 offsuit. I'm going to raise it up to $10. Only the small blind is going to make the call, the same player from the last hand, and we're going to see an excellent flop for us. It's going to come 9-8-4 rainbow. He checks to me, and we're just going to make a standard c-bet here, but I'm going to bet bigger than I usually would because this player is going to call pretty much any size bet. So let's get max value when we have our good hands. That's going to bring in the queen of spades on the turn. Action goes check, check. Then he checks to us once again on the river when the ace of spades falls. Now with 2 pair, let's go ahead and try to get some value here. I bet 30, and he quickly makes the fold. So a little unfortunate there that he couldn't pay us off. If you play poker long enough, there'll be times in a session that you should probably make a fold, GTO, charts, solvers say you should probably live to fight another day, but sometimes you have to listen to your poker instinct, that inner voice that just says something is not right and doesn't add up. And it's okay to make a decision that could potentially be wrong, but at least it's your own and you can learn from it. But sometimes you'll be correct. And that's what's going to be displayed in this particular hand right here. The low jack's going to open to $15. Action folds over to us on the button, and we're going to look down at a pretty little 9-8 of diamonds. We are definitely going to be making the call here. This is a hand that flops very well. We can play a big pot with this hand, or we can keep this pot relatively small because we are on the button. The flop's going to come ace 8-3, 2 clubs. This is not the best board, obviously. We do not love that we don't have clubs. Definitely do not like the ace, but as you noticed, he just instantly continuation bet 20. Kind of nonchalant, like not really caring or thinking at all. If he had a hand like pocket tens, wouldn't he at least think about it there? Pause for a moment. So that was kind of a red flag for me. Didn't quite make sense. So I decided to make the call. And now we're going to see the turn, which is the deuce of spades. And again, he's going to fire $45 pretty quick again. Now, I doubt he has a hand like 5-4 that he was opening. So this card really shouldn't change much. I mean, even if he had an ace, he probably would check this because that card's better for me than him. So he's repping just a super strong hand or just nothing in my opinion. So I once again make the call. That's going to bring in the 7 of hearts on the river. He pretty quickly checks back, which I expect now to be good a vast majority of the time. And indeed we are, as he flips over red 4s for what I'm guessing was a bluff. Last couple hands of the session. In this one, action folds over to MP, who's going to raise to $15. We look down on the cutoff at a beautiful ace 10 of diamonds. I decide just to flat in position. There definitely is a merit to re-raise, but this is the player from the last hand who we just played with who seems a bit tilty. So I decide to make the call to use my advantage post-flop. And well, forget what I just said. All that logic just went right out of the window. That is an above average flop. Who needs logic when you can flop full houses? That is definitely better. And the amazing thing is the big blind checks. Action goes back to MP and he doesn't even c-bet small. He's just irritated and just rips it 200 plus. I decide to rejam and now we're going to head to a run out. The turn's going to come the queen of diamonds and the river the 5 of spades. He thinks for a second that he got me on the turn with ace queen, but no, our full house is going to be good and we're going to stack this player. So we've arrived at the final hand of this session. This one's going to be a really fun hand to end it. It's going to involve our friend here in seat 5 who we've been battling with. Action's going to start with him limping. Action goes over to me and the hijack, and I look down at pocket kings. I decide to make the raise to $20, obviously with kings. Action's pretty quickly going to fold around back to him, and he's pretty quickly obviously going to make the call, as you could see. I don't think he'd be folding anything to me now at this point. He definitely seems like he is on tilt, and he is trying to get me back. So it is an ideal situation for us here. We just need a clean flop to hopefully achieve our goal of stacking him. And we see a spicy board here. That comes queen, jack, 4, all hearts. Now we do have the king of hearts in our hand. So on the surface, this seems like a really good board for me. I go ahead and c-bet to $20 and he quickly makes the call. And now this hand has quickly turned into a 2 street value hand. In my opinion, it's going to be very hard to get 3 streets of value, especially when the 10 of hearts rolls off on the turn. Now you're going to see me fire $40 here once he checks it back to me. In the moment I was thinking I have a king high flush and I want to continue to get value. But when I think about this hand right now, if I really break it down, he's going to now check raise me to $120. Now this is a lot of strength. Think about it, guys. If he has a straight, Wouldn't he just call? I mean, if he has a hand like King 9, Ace King, he would just call, right? Because in his mind, he's thinking, I have the Ace of Hearts. He would be nervous of that. And I also block both of those straights with two kings in my hand. So what is he doing this with? The 9 or the 8 of hearts? Something crazy like that? Does he have the 5, 6 of hearts? And he's just going crazy? Probably not. So with all that running through my mind, I just think, geez, why didn't I just check call here? That's probably the right play, lose the minimum. I decide to make the fold. OMG. I can't believe it, guys, looking back at it. But you guys got to let me know, did I make the right play? Did I make the wrong play? I just knew, I just felt he had the ace of hearts and made the fold. Now it's time to head to the cage. I will see you guys in the outro.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap up the sessions for today. I played 2-5 for a little while. The game was not great. I believe I lost about $140. So I moved into the 1-3 game where the action was a lot better, surprisingly. And I wound up cashing out for about $747, $750, somewhere in that range. So I was into the 2-5 game for 500 and then bought into the 1-3 for 300. So we did profit on the session. I don't know exactly off the top of my head at the moment, but I will link it right here. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the vlog, please like, subscribe, comment, engage with me. Truly appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Be safe. Have a good one.